Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're looking at something pretty powerful, the
Yeah.
power of small acts of kindness. And we've got this really heartwarming story from Reader's Digest.
Okay.
And we're going to explore, why these little things can
Right.
actually make such a big difference.
Yeah.
So, to kind of set the stage here,
Okay.
imagine you're having dinner, at a restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
and you see someone experiencing homelessness outside.
Yeah.
What would you do?
Yeah. What would you do?
Well, this deep dive starts with this young girl named Ella,
Okay.
who did something really pretty amazing.
Okay.
So it's 2016. Ella and her dad are enjoying a meal in Monterey, California.
Okay.
She's digging into a plate of steak and potatoes
Mm-hmm.
when she sees this homeless man on a bench outside.
Okay.
And here's where it gets interesting.
Okay.
Ella asks her dad, "Can I just give it to him?"
It's so powerful how her dad reacts.
Right.
There's no hesitation or questioning. He simply says, go ahead,
Wow.
and watches Ella with pride from inside the restaurant.
So Ella doesn't just offer like a bite or two.
Right.
She takes her entire plate of food, fork, and all and brings it to the man outside.
Oh, gosh.
And he's
Wow.
clearly happy to receive it. And Ella comes back inside with this huge smile. Her dad tells her, "I think you just made his week."
Wow.
And Ella's response is, "I like it."
What strikes me about this story is just the simplicity of Ella's act.
Yeah.
And then the ripple effect that it creates.
Right.
And
Yeah.
her dad describes this as like a proud father moment.
Yeah.
Not just because she was kind, but because, she learned this really valuable lesson about helping others.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes you wonder, like, what
Yeah.
small acts of kindness have you witnessed or been a part of?
Yeah. Have you seen someone else do it?
Right, exactly.
Have you done it?
Yeah.
And how did those experiences make you feel? It's amazing how those small gestures can stay with us, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And speaking of impactful actions,
Okay.
the Reader's Digest website has like a bunch of other inspiring stories.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And one that stood out to me
Okay.
was about this woman
Okay.
who turns chip bags into sleeping bags for those experiencing homelessness.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
What a creative way to address a need.
Right. And then there's this story of this man who raises money
Okay.
by painting portraits of people experiencing homelessness.
Oh, wow.
And it's just this way to kind of showcase their humanity and raise awareness,
Yeah. These stories all highlight how much people really want to make a difference,
Right.
even in seemingly small ways.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think there's this common thread in all of these stories.
What's that?
It's just this genuine desire to make a positive impact.
But what's really fascinating is that
What's that?
research shows
Yeah.
that doing kind things
Mm-hmm.
actually benefits the giver too.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard of the helper's high?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so what is that?
Yeah. So studies show that acts of kindness release endorphins,
Oh,
those feel-good chemicals in our brain.
I see.
It can also reduce stress and anxiety.
So it's not just about being selfless.
Right.
It's actually good for us to be kind.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's like this positive feedback loop.
Mm-hmm.
Doing something nice for someone else makes you feel good too.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
Right.
It's like a win-win.
It's a win-win.
It makes you wonder what other benefits there might be.
Yeah. What else is out there? Oh, there's a whole field of research on this.
Really?
Yeah. Studies have shown that kindness can boost our immune system,
Mm-hmm.
lower blood pressure,
Wow.
and even increase lifespan.
So there are tangible health benefits too.
Yeah.
Kindness is like a superpower.
You could say that.
Wow.
But beyond the physical kindness also has a powerful impact on our mental and emotional well-being.
Okay.
It can help us feel more connected to others, boost our self-esteem,
Right.
and increase, feelings of happiness and life satisfaction.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. When we help others, we feel good about ourselves and our place in the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we're contributing to something larger than ourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this brings us to another interesting point, the ripple effect of kindness.
Okay.
So when we're kind to others,
Hmm.
it not only impacts them directly,
Okay.
but it can also inspire them to pay it forward and be kind to others as well.
So it's like a chain reaction of positivity spreading outward from that initial act of kindness.
Precisely.
Wow.
There's a fascinating study
Okay.
that demonstrates this ripple effect.
Okay.
So researchers observe that when one person performs an act of kindness,
Mm-hmm.
it can positively impact the mood and behavior of up to 3 degrees of separation.
3 degrees of separation. So that means it could affect people we don't even know.
That's right.
Wow.
Just imagine the potential impact if we all made a conscious effort to be a little kinder in our daily interactions.
That's a powerful thought. Knowing that our actions can have such a widespread impact.
Mhm.
But shifting gears a bit,
Okay.
we also have some sources that explore, the complexities of receiving kindness.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's important to remember that, like, receiving help isn't always straightforward.
Okay.
While it can be, a positive experience, there can also be like a mix of emotions involved.
Okay, that's interesting. Why would receiving kindness be anything but positive?
Or think about it.
Okay.
Accepting help can sometimes make people feel vulnerable
Okay.
or even indebted.
Yeah.
There might be feelings of pride that make it difficult to ask for or accept assistance.
It's like there's a certain level of vulnerability involved
Right.
in allowing someone to help you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it kind of highlights the importance of approaching kindness with sensitivity and respect.
Yeah.
It's not about making ourselves feel good.
Yeah.
It's about genuinely wanting to support someone else.
So how can we ensure that our actions are truly helpful and not just well-intentioned,
Right,
but
sure.
potentially awkward or even hurtful?
Well, one key is recognizing the agency of the
Mhm.
recipient.
Okay.
Instead of assuming we know what's best,
Mm,
we can ask, what would be most helpful to you right now?
that's a great suggestion.
Yeah.
It empowers the person to express their needs and preferences.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it shifts the dynamic from like a giver-receiver relationship
Mm-hmm.
to a more collaborative one
Okay.
based on, mutual respect and understanding.
So we need to be mindful of how we offer kindness,
Mm-hmm.
ensuring we respect the other person's feelings and autonomy.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And sometimes
Yeah.
the most meaningful acts of kindness aren't about material things or grand gestures.
Right.
Often it's about offering emotional support,
Okay.
like a listening ear, a
Yeah.
kind word,
Yeah.
simply acknowledging someone's struggles.
That's such an important point sometimes. Just knowing that someone cares and is there for you can make all the difference.
Absolutely. It's about connecting with another human being on this like heart-to-heart level,
Mm-hmm.
letting them know they're not alone.
Right.
And that can be incredibly powerful,
Yeah.
especially for someone who's feeling isolated or overwhelmed.
As we're discussing this,
Yeah.
I'm reminded of a story from the sources
Okay.
about this pizza delivery guy
Okay.
who went above and beyond the call of duty.
Oh, yes. The pizza man who saved those children from a house fire.
Yeah.
A truly remarkable story of everyday heroism.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
He was just doing his job
Right.
when he saw smoke billowing from a house.
Mm-hmm.
And without hesitation, he alerted the family and helped them escape.
And he didn't just call the fire department and drive away.
Right.
He actively participated in the rescue, even carrying one of the children out of the burning house.
Talk about bravery and quick thinking.
Right.
He literally saved their lives.
It's a powerful reminder that heroism doesn't always wear a cape.
Yeah.
Anyone can be a hero,
Mhm.
regardless of their job or background.
And his story ties back to our conversation about kindness so beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
His actions were driven by compassion and a genuine desire to help,
Right.
even at great personal risk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And while most of us won't find ourselves in such dramatic situations,
Right.
his story underscores the potential we all have to make a difference in unexpected ways.
It's inspiring, isn't it?
Yeah.
Knowing that even in the most ordinary of circumstances, a simple act of kindness can have a profound impact.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that brings us to another amazing story from the Reader's Digest website.
Okay.
Have you heard about the single mother who feeds thousands of people every month, all while facing her own financial challenges?
This woman's story it's incredible.
It really is.
It sounds like something out of a movie.
It's remarkable.
Yeah.
So this woman runs a food pantry
Okay.
that serves thousands of people every month.
Wow.
And she does it all on like a very tight budget.
And how does she do that?
So her secret is she's a master of gleaning. Yeah. Have you ever heard of that?
I've never heard of that.
So it's basically the practice of collecting leftover produce from farms and grocery stores
Okay.
that would otherwise go to waste.
So she's like taking food that would just be thrown away
Exactly.
and using it. That's incredible.
It's this brilliant way to address both food waste and hunger at the same time.
So not only is she providing nutritious food to people in need,
Right.
but she's also like helping to reduce the environmental impact of food waste.
Exactly. It's a win-win on so many levels.
Yeah.
And it really speaks to the power of resourcefulness
Yeah.
and ingenuity
Yeah.
in, making a difference.
Her story also highlights like the power of community.
Right.
She relies on a network of volunteers to help collect and distribute the food.
Mm-hmm.
So it just proves that, like, collective action can amplify the impact of individual kindness.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that we don't have to do it all alone.
Right.
When people come together with this shared purpose,
Yeah.
amazing things can happen.
Yeah. So throughout this deep dive, we've heard these incredible stories of, like, everyday heroes.
Yeah.
We've explored, the science behind the helper's high, and we learned how resourcefulness and compassion can create this positive change.
And we've seen how kindness can take so many forms.
Right.
From a shared meal to a heroic rescue to a community effort to combat hunger.
It's clear that even small acts of kindness can make a big difference in the lives of others.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up,
Okay.
I want to go back to something we touched on earlier,
Mm-hmm.
the experience of receiving kindness.
Right. That's such an important perspective
Yeah.
to consider.
Yeah.
We've talked about the benefits for the giver
Right.
and the ripple effects, throughout the community.
Right.
But it's crucial to also understand how these acts of generosity actually impact the recipient.
It's easy to assume that receiving help is always a positive experience.
Right.
But as we discussed, it's often more nuanced than that.
Right. Remember Ella's story? While the homeless man was undoubtedly grateful for the meal,
Yeah.
he might have also experienced this mix of emotions:
Okay.
relief, humility,
Yeah.
maybe even a touch of sadness at his circumstances.
It's a reminder that everyone has their own story, their own struggles,
Mhm.
and we shouldn't make assumptions about how someone will react to an act of kindness.
Exactly. Approaching kindness with sensitivity and respect is key.
Right.
It's not about imposing our help,
Yeah.
but rather offering it in a way that honors the recipient's dignity and autonomy.
And sometimes the most meaningful acts of kindness aren't about, like, material things,
Right.
but about offering emotional support,
Yeah.
lending a listening ear, sharing words of encouragement, simply acknowledging someone's pain.
Absolutely. It's about connecting with another human being
Yeah.
on this deeper level,
Right.
letting them know they're seen, heard, and valued.
So as we conclude our deep dive into the power of kindness, I think the biggest takeaway is that it's this multifaceted phenomenon with ripple effects that extend far beyond the initial act.
It's about recognizing the complexities, approaching it with sensitivity and respect, and understanding that even the smallest gestures can contribute to a more compassionate and interconnected world.
And perhaps most importantly, it's about remembering that kindness is a choice we make every day. It's not about grand gestures or heroic feats, but about those small moments of connection and compassion that weave together the fabric of our lives.
And on that note, I'll leave you with this thought. What small act of kindness will you choose today?